Hi, this is Tanvir Muhammad Masood, and in this edition of Science and Technology edition, I would try and speak on a very important subject relating to job interview, basically, and what are the criteria, basically, that needs to be adhered to ensure that a job interview is carried out successfully and in a more professional and systematic manner. Now, there are certain do's and don'ts which an HR manager as well as a candidate, basically, who is a prospective candidate and who is in there to appear in a job interview and who is basically trying his or her level best to get or grab that particular job in question for him or herself. So there are certain norms that needs to be followed and certain criteria which needs to be adhered to ensure that a job interview is carried out in a more professional and systematic manner. Now, the moment we mention the word job interview, the first and foremost thing that might crop up in the mind of the candidate or either the mind of the HR manager, that whether indeed there is this necessity of a resume or biodata, or at times we call it curriculum vitae, for to be submitted or to be carried along with the candidate. Well, there are no such concept of biodata or, for that matter, curriculum vitae or resume, for that matter, in this field of recruitment or hiring. Though these days it's quite popular and it's quite a bit of rule and that submission of resume or biodata is quite essential, and a candidate who is not carrying a resume or a biodata with him or herself is basically not considered for selection or even for appearing in a job interview. Well, I thought it's not quite necessary. As my opinion is concerned, it's not quite essential. It's quite unnecessary to carry a resume. I thought a biodata is basically the introduction of the person, introduction of the candidate, his or her education, qualification, work experience, hobbies, likes and dislikes. In fact, these things can be basically verbally be communicated with the interviewer or with the HR manager, for that matter, without even calling for a piece of paper containing all the details of the candidate. It's most important in a job interview is the fact that the candidate, the prospective candidate for the job, is basically showing the right attitude and the right approach towards the job in question, and not that the way he is presenting his resume or biodata. Though not be against it that the presentation of biodata or resume, or for that matter curriculum vitae, goes on to create a bit of impression as far as the job in question is concerned, as far as the attitude, the personality, the right approach of the candidate is concerned. But I thought there is no such norm, there is no such rule or regulation in the books of recruitment or hiring that this carrying of resume or biodata is quite essential and mandatory. I thought what is mandatory and quite essential is the fact that the candidate has the right attitude and right thinking towards the job in question, and that he shows his or her readiness to ensure his best to grab the job which is basically in there. And if that attitude is missing, and if there is not a positive approach within that candidate, then I thought even if the resume or the biodata is presentable and is very flourishing in nature, is very soothing in nature, or very